USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Brace the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso Virtuo Coffee Machines. Ready to enjoy the bold flavors of barista-quality Nespresso iced coffee at home? Simply fill a glass with ice and press the brew button on your Virtuo Pop machine to enjoy rich double espressos roasted to stand up even when chilled. Refreshingly bold iced coffee. Refreshingly easy to make at home. Visit Nespresso.com to shop now.
Hello and welcome to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. We are so excited to bring you this show.
Our podcast is all about unraveling all of your favorite mysteries from the Assassin's Creed games. Each episode will be talking about a different topic in the Assassin's Creed universe. From Pieces of Eden, solar flares, and the Isu, to the Hidden Ones, the Order of Ancients, and of course, the Animus, we will seek to uncover it all.
So join us and maybe even take a leap of faith.
Hello and welcome to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. My name is Shelby. You also know me as She-Cup, and we are back with another Road to Assassin's Creed Shadows episode. But before we get into our topic for the day, I'll let my co-host introduce himself.
Hey, I am Austin or Teacup, and we're here to talk about Assassin's Creed.
Yes, we are. So why don't you tell us about our topic for the day? I know we're covering another one of these articles, so let's just dive right in.
Yeah, so today we are talking about progression, and I just want to give everyone a kind of disclaimer. I know we still have one more after this one to talk about. We will not be talking about the Hideout article, because when we record that episode, it will release on the day that Shadows releases.
So we're not going to cover the Hideout episode at all, or it'll just come out after the game comes out?
We're not going to cover it at all because it'll be there. And you can go read that. And it really is just a point of, hey, there's going to be a hideout and you can customize it.
Okay, well, that sounds like it doesn't need to be an episode anyway.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's get into progression.
So when we talk about progression, we mean basically that progression is like how you level up, how you do your skills, how you progress the game. That's what the progression. So they say this is a new progression loop, but I don't really consider it a new progression loop. It's just it's just the old one with new names.
Yeah, I was like looking at some of the notes so far and was like, this looks pretty standard.
Yes. So learning skills will be based on a progression loop consisting of mastery points and knowledge ranks. Basically, there are two sets. You need points to spend on abilities, but then you're going to need knowledge ranks that will unlock certain abilities. So like you need certain level of knowledge before you can unlock certain skills with a mastery point, which is the similar as like a level restriction on abilities. Like you need to be level 20 before you can have this ability. So basically, let's talk about mastery points. So both protagonists, Naoe and Yasuke, will have multiple mastery trees to invest in. These are your skill trees. These are unique to each protagonist, so they will have different skill trees separate from each other, and there will not be any kind of doubling of skill trees. So, for example, when we've had true dual protagonist, which if I'm really talking about true dual protagonists, that's really Syndicate is the only other game where we've had not like you get to pick one to follow, and not with like Aya as an afterthought who just is the same abilities as Bayek.
Mm-hmm.
But a true dual protagonist. Evie and Jacob had the same skills. They had some skills that were unique to them, but like all in all, their skill trees looked pretty similar. This will not be the case. Like they will have different skill trees. They will have different abilities, basically because they're going to be linked to their weapons and their archetypes.
So do we know yet if like we can swap between the two of them at will anytime we want?
So you will be able to swap at will eventually in the game.
So not at the very beginning?
No.
Okay,
at the very beginning,
sense.
you will progress. I believe this is just based on some stuff that I have seen. We start the game as Yasuke, and then we go to Naoe, and then we will have a switch.
It also sounds like there's going to be certain missions that we have to play as, like some we have to play as Naoe and some we have to play as Yasuke. We don't get that choice.
I believe only in the beginning.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
At least from what I've read. And they've done some kind of stuff about like showing like attacking strongholds or stuff from different perspectives. I also think quests and missions are going to look a little different in this based on the mastery and all of that. All right. So now archetypes are obviously assassin and shinobi, and then Yasuke's archetype is the samurai. These are going to reflect on the skill trees that they have. The more you invest in a tree, the better you are at the skill.
Duh.
I
can't believe you put that in the show notes.
I know. Duh. I mean, I just feel like that's... if you don't realize that while playing a game, then...
Have you ever played a video game before?
Exactly. We earn mastery points through normal means that you would expect of play and experience, i.e. you get quests, activities, but you can also learn them by defeating unique enemies and eliminating your targets. This is very similar to Ghost of Tsushima, their progression system. The more you like do stuff, the more you get experience towards your ability technique points and do that. It seems that they've taken a lot of influence from there. This note, and this will probably make some people happy, mastery points can be refunded at any time. I have not seen if there's going to be a monetary value to that or if it's just going to be reset and have fun. So now I do have a video about progression, basically, and that features the double assassination.
Nice. This is what I want. Like, this is 100% what I want. I know in Mirage we didn't really have this ability fully. It was more of like you get an ability where you assassinate and then you like immediately assassinate the person right next to it, and so it kind of counts as a double assassination, but it's not at exactly the same time. So I'm glad they're bringing this back in its true form.
Yeah. So that kind of just showed how like, okay, that our skills and abilities are going to affect the world. Like, how you approached that situation without double assassination was different than how you approached it with double assassination, and just it gave you that kind of advantage there. Lastly, progression is shared across protagonists, meaning that mastery points, XP, knowledge, rank, and all of that is gained by protagonists equally, meaning if you grind away on Naoe, you don't have to go back and redo all that grind as Yasuke. He'll have all of that experience and ability points to spend right when you switch to him.
So I want to dive into this a little bit because I think it might be confusing for our listeners, because earlier we said that they each get their own mastery trees, but that they do share XP. So basically what we're saying is, like, if you're playing as one of them, like, they're both going to get the XP, but you still have to manually go in and choose which abilities you want for both of them.
Yes. So, like, for example, this is my guess of how it's going to work based on previous games. If you spend 2 hours, grinding away, and you've unlocked like 6 mastery points for Naoe, and then you say, okay, now I need to switch to Yasuke. Yasuke isn't going to be 6 mastery points behind. He's going to have 6 mastery points to spend.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me too.
Yes. Active abilities are found in all mastery trees. So these are the abilities. Passive active abilities, if you don't know. Active abilities are like things you activate. So like the Spartan Kick from Odyssey, that's an active ability. But like the one that you deal 20% of assassin damage in an AoE from Odyssey, that is a passive ability. You don't have to do anything, it just does it.
Mm-hmm.
And so each weapon type has 2 ability slots that you can place active abilities in and out of. So it sounds like we can have access to a bunch of abilities, but we really will only be able to slot 2 at a time.
I don't know what it is with video game companies limiting how many abilities we can take, but it's really starting to piss me off because I don't like that. If you let me get all these abilities and spend all this currency to get these abilities, let me use them all.
Mm-hmm. And it really just depends on like with Dragon Age and this, like we can't switch out abilities mid-combat. I don't know if you'll be able to do that in
this game or
Shadows, because I think you can do that in Valhalla.
I don't remember.
But it just comes down to, I agree with you. Avowed is really great about that. You actually have an ability wheel. So you can quick slot some stuff, but you can go in and use a bunch of spells and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I want. Like, let me give me access to all of them. But
right. Weapon abilities will be able to be upgraded, unlocking new twist and gameplay advantages. So weapon abilities, like kind of in Valhalla, like they were able to be upgraded and pushed further. That's also something in there. It kind of reminds me of like they're keeping some stuff from the RPG trilogy, but putting more focus on individual weapons versus general abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a video that shows a Tonto ability that you can watch.
I will say in this video, it looks like there's more than just 2 slots.
Yes, we're going to get into that.
Okay. Cool.
So I just want to know, how'd you feel about that little black and white kill cam filter thing?
I liked it.
Okay, it's been hotly debated in the thing of people.
I'm sure there's going to be a toggle to turn it on and off.
I think they've confirmed that there will be.
But I think it looks cool. Yeah. I mean, makes it look different at least.
It's very like traditional like samurai movie.
Oh yeah, true.
Kinda.
I don't know. I'm very much in favor of them doing things differently than they always have before. I think it gets very repetitive and boring when they release a new Assassin's Creed game and it's just a reskin of the previous one.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm all pro for them doing different stuff and experimenting and playing around with it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that a lot. So the archetype trees, which is like your assassin, shinobi, samurai, they will also have active abilities, though only one of these abilities can be equipped, which will give you a grand total of 3 equipped abilities.
But you can dual wield weapons. So if these abilities are locked to weapons, does that mean we can get up to 6?
Dual wielding weapons is... So the Tonto, if you bring the Tonto out, you have your hidden blade, with you as well. So it's not really
it's not a true second. Okay. I just saw in that last video there was like another wheel to the left side that didn't have anything in it.
Oh, well, I don't know. They didn't cover that.
Maybe they haven't told us yet.
Yeah. Some abilities will be locked either by knowledge rank or unique circumstances that need to be met. For example, there is an air assassination ability they mentioned that needs to be met by doing air assassinations. So other things like that. So we've mentioned this a couple times. Let's talk about knowledge rank. So knowledge is an abstraction of your mind, aka your mental readiness. This means certain upgrades for your character will only be accessible once your character has reached a specific knowledge rank. Knowledge can be acquired through your journey by completing different types of non-violent activities, such as finding lost pages in temples, taking time to pray at shrines, doing some meditation for Naoe, or learning new kata or martial art forms for Yasuke. So basically this is a progression of like your study. I actually really kind of like this, that it is like you have to participate in non-violent things to understand the world and understand what you're doing.
And I do think that makes sense, just from a gameplay immersion perspective. And I do appreciate that, like, you know, usually when we've collected the feathers, like, there's no reward for that. When we collect the songs and Black Flag, like, there's a minor, you know, like, you get a cutscene or you get some weapon. Like, you don't get anything that feels really substantial. And this, I feel like, it gives you much more of an initiative and a reason for completing those little, you know, small finding and meditating, whatever it is. It gives you more of an initiative for doing that kind of stuff outside of the main quest.
Right. And even though, also with these, even though, again, that some of these are character specific in the ways they gain knowledge, it's still shared among both protagonists, which I think is a kind of way you can think of like these protagonists talk to each other of like, hey, check out this thing I learned today, or things like that.
I like your justification there.
By the time you reach 6th level knowledge rank, so the 6th level of knowledge rank, a new knowledge tree will unlock with unique passives to further your gameplay. So I assume this is kind of like the mastery skills from Odyssey or other things like that, that passives that will just boost your already present abilities. So here we go for equipment. So the level of your equipment, as well as your skills and abilities, will influence how you stack up against your enemies and shadows. Basically, if you have underdeveloped equipment, you're not going to do great against enemies that have better equipment than you. An enemy's health is represented by a health bar divided into multiple segments. These segments directly impact how much damage you need to inflict to kill an enemy in combat. They determine the outcome of your assassination attempts. You'll start the adventure with a hidden blade that can remove 2 health segments, meaning that if an enemy has more health than that, they will survive your assassination and attempt and turn to fight you. You can recognize these stronger enemies by using the observe mechanic. Furthermore, when you target an enemy for assassination, the color of their health bar will change to reflect whether the attempt will be deadly or not. White will guarantee an assassination, yellow will only deal some damage, and red will result in an assassination being denied. And we have a video of a denied assassination.
I don't like it. I know I just went on this whole tangent about how, I think I'm very much pro them doing new stuff and innovating. I don't want them to innovate this. Well, I don't know. I just feel like if we have gotten to the point of like we are able to assassinate and like we sneak up on someone, I don't know. I feel like it should go through. I get the thing of like Naoe is like walking through a hallway and just like walks up behind somebody. Like so there are times where I'm like, definitely they would know that you're coming. But like if you're assassinating somebody from a really good hiding spot, like a haystack or a bundle of hay or whatever it is, like I don't know. I just feel like that should automatically go through because there's no way that they would know you're hiding in a haystack.
Mm-hmm. Well, good news for you and everyone else who thinks like you is that one-shot assassinations can be turned on via the game menu.
Okay, well, that shit's going on immediately for me, but I also just like, I don't know. It annoys me. Like, I don't know. It just kind of, I feel like it defeats the whole purpose of being an assassin.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. So with that, to ensure that you can take down your target with assassinations, you can improve your assassination damage in the mastery trees, equip gear and weapons that give additional bonus, or engrave bonuses on your gear items at the forge. Sounds very Odyssey-esque. I have a build in Odyssey where it's all assassination damage. I have so much assassination damage, and then I have a perk that turns that into an AoE, and so swords deal assassination damage, so I just swing a sword around and I'm just a walking bomb. So enemies that are 5+ level over you will be marked with a skull icon, meaning they are much stronger than you and will probably be too difficult to take on. You should always ensure your current level matches with the region you are in, as well as who you are facing. And I just have a question. Is this like, okay, absolutely no challenging 5 ranks above you? Like, if you challenge 5 ranks above you, like, you're going to get one-shotted, you're going to go to the ends of the earth? Or is this going to be like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where level ranks are just kind of like a
suggestion,
a minor suggestion?
Yeah, I have no idea. No clue whatsoever.
So yeah, that's my thing about it, is like, is this a true level guide, or is it like a, okay, it's 5+ levels, but if you want to get good, you can get good?
I want to say it probably is. The way I'm going to go into it is I'm going to be cautious at first until we kind of figure out the answer to that. But I right now lean more toward it's probably going to be pretty difficult, because like most of the games have been that way. Like if you try to take down a mercenary in Odyssey that's 5 levels above you, it's usually pretty difficult. And same for Mirage. Like, I don't even want to think about that. Valhalla is really the only one that's been easy.
That is true.
Well, it sounds like now is a good time to get into our mid-break, Austin, unless you had more to say on this topic.
Let's do it.
All right.
It's the Smucker's Uncrustables podcast with your host, Uncrustables. Okay, today's guest is rough around the edges. Please welcome Crust.
Thanks for having me.
Today's topic, he's round with soft, pillowy bread.
Hey.
Filled with delicious PB&J.
Are you talking about yourself?
And you can take him anywhere.
Why'd you invite?
And we are out of time.
Are you really cutting me off?
Uncrustables are the best part of the sandwich. Sorry, Crust.
As a sports fan, I have to confess, sometimes the game gets kind of boring. That's when I unfold my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and use multi-window viewing on its large screen. Boring game? I'm checking out my fantasy baseball league at the same time. Score still 1-0? I'm replying to emails in the other window, scoring points with the boss. Semifinals finally getting exciting? I'm buying tickets to the finals and booking my flights. Can your phone do that?
The new Galaxy Z Fold 7. Get yours at Samsung.com.
This episode is brought to you by FX's Alien Earth, the official podcast. Each week, host Adam Rogers is joined by guests, including the show's creator, cast, and crew, in this exclusive companion podcast. They will explore story elements, deep dive into character motivations, and offer an episode-by-episode behind-the-scenes breakdown of each terrifying chapter in this new series. Search FX's Alien Earth wherever you listen to podcasts.
Ma cos'è? Shoot! Shoot a flying demon!
Quite a carriage you got there. Where did you buy it, if you don't mind me asking?
Ask all you want, Freddy. You'll never get an answer.
Damn it all. Was it my eyebrows?
Yes, and your face, voice, and body.
What have you done? We used them. They were not ready for firing. You could have gotten us all killed. Let me see. His breath is more fatal than our cannons. Only when you two fools are shooting them. There, try it.
All right, right, welcome to the middle of the show. This is where we talk about all the things that have to do with the lore cast of Assassin's Creed and not the lore of Assassin's Creed. So the first thing that we always do is thank all of our amazing patrons. Thank you all so much for all of your awesome support. We greatly appreciate it. Now, I do have a new patron to shout out today, and his name is Peter R. Thank you so much for joining. We love to have you and hope to see you on the next patron chat soon. And I also should say, if you're looking to join, maybe miss the first merch drop, the second merch drop of the year is coming in about a month. So you might want to sign up and get in on that if you haven't already. And if you can't support us financially, we do understand. We know that times are tough right now, but the next best way to support us is to leave us a rating, a review, a comment, any kind, wherever you can. And if you do leave us a kind comment or a 5-star rating, we will read it out on a future episode of the show. And so the one I have to read today comes from B. Doherty, who commented on the Assassin's Creed Road to Shadows combat episode and said, "Hi Cups, just like to say your podcast is the best and I love it so much. I find you guys relaxing and funny and never stop what you're doing. Well, we don't have plans to stop the podcast anytime soon, so you are in luck, and thank you so much for leaving us that awesome review." Now, the last and final thing I have to shout out in the mid-break today is our Discord server. You should definitely come and hang out with us. It's the best place on the internet, we always say, and if you are out there really excited for Shadows, there's a lot of people in our Discord who are too. So definitely come over there and hang out with us. And with that, I think we can get back into it.
My cat Freddie loves to be brushed and cuddled. But stirring up his cat allergens meant sneezing and itchy eyes. Then I found Purina One Live Clear. It's cat food that reduced the major allergen and my suffering in as little as 21 days. Now, we feel closer than ever. If you have issues with cat allergens, you really need to try Purina One Live Clear.
Try new Purina One Live Clear today. Purina One, a difference from day one.
Lowe's knows to bring your vision to life, it's important to find the right color. That's why MyLowe's Rewards members get a free Valspar paint or exterior stain sample to test your look to confidently refresh your space. Offer valid in-store only 8/7 to 8/20. Limit 1 per customer while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See associate for details. Rewards program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.
Malaka. But that madman, the self-proclaimed Bishop of the Ruins, is our biggest critic. He calls our playing the devil's bagpipes.
I will sleep with anyone as long as they agree to be executed in the morning.
Like Xantivis.
He was well satisfied with his bargain. Who is this toothsome fellow?
My queen, this is,
Well?
It is a generous offer, but I've already pledged my life to this woman.
Aya, you have chosen well.
All right, welcome back. So let's talk about gear, because everyone wants to know about gear and weapons and all of that stuff. So gear and weapons can be looted in chests or on defeated enemies. The loot itself is largely randomized in order to give players a sense of unique discovery along their journey. So this sounds like it is much more like Odyssey and Origins than it is Valhalla. Because Valhalla and Mirage had set gear at set places. Every time you play the game, if you go to this chest right here, it's going to have that weapon in it. However, with that being said, there are predetermined items placed throughout the world. These usually have the legendary quality and can be obtained from specific targets and in castle chests. You can locate these valuable opportunities on the objective board or the world map. They usually offer a great challenge in stealth or combat. Now, this makes sense because This is very much like Odyssey was. You had specific items that were legendary that you had to go find, and you had to find them in their spot, but you also just had randomized gear that kind of came about there.
Like gear that was good, but not as good as the legendary tier.
So gear will have different qualities, as we've talked about. We have 5 quality levels that are common across the rest of the games, and how much it will impact your play style. So common is obviously the lowest, has basic stats. Uncommon has improved stats and a perk, and we'll talk about perks in a little bit. And then we have rare equipment, which is equipment that is stronger and offers the possibility to engrave a new perk on the forge and the hideout. Epic equipment adds a chance to have one of the core stats boosted if you're lucky. An enemy can drop an epic item that has stronger elements than a legendary one. Legendary has unique handpicked stats, a gameplay-oriented perk, and an engraving slot. So gear can be upgraded. Once you find it, you can upgrade it to different slots, to different rarities and things like that, which we have been confirmed. So there's a video on gear quality.
Okay, so they're talking about this like it's new, but this is just like purple is the second best, gold is the best. Like we've had that in like the past 4 games. So it seems pretty standard to me.
It is standard. It's just not always that it wasn't until Mirage that gear could jump categories.
Oh, okay.
Or Mirage and Valhalla that you could jump gear in categories.
Like when you upgraded it, upgrade. Yeah, yeah, fair.
So, it's time to talk about one of the best features in all of video games that I now want in every video game to ever exist, which is transmogrification. Or transmog, if you will. This is the ability to make gear look like other pieces of gear. So, say you really like the look of something and but its stats suck, and you find a piece of item that has better stats, you can make the good stat item look like the shittier stat item. So you can customize look and everything like that. So this will be free and can be accessed via the menu once unlocked at the Forge. This is big because in the past 2 games, Valhalla and Mirage, it has not been free. You've had to use in-game currency to do it, which is annoying, and don't do that to me.
I never ran out of it, so to me it was never an issue. But I'm also a loot goblin, so
yes. I have a quote about this just because I thought their words were really interesting. So we pushed transmog further for Shadows by adding weapon customization too. Not only can you switch the visuals of one weapon to another, you can also mix and match the look of its different parts. The final result could be a blade of one weapon, the guard of another, and the handle of your newly acquired one. This sounds very much like Jedi Survivor when you're forming your lightsaber hilt with different spots and all of that. I do think it sounds awesome. I have a video that shows kind of what they were doing.
That looks pretty cool, and it's kind of like a 3-way transmog system, but I will be really honest, when they were swapping through the blades, they all looked exactly the same to me.
I did notice that, but I'm sure there will be more variety. If you looked in the icons, there was a really purpley one.
Yeah, I wanted
something.
them to click on that one, and they did not.
Yeah. So once you've created a customized gear and weapon set that you want, you can save it by heading to the gallery in your hideout. You have to construct this. You can not only display your gear there, but also unlock loadouts to save your different equipment configurations, which I like because I am I really like the RPG element of okay, I have one gear set that looks like if I'm going to go into a true battle, I'm going to put on that. But if I'm just walking around town,
you're not going to be fully decked out in your whole warrior kit.
Right, exactly, which I like.
Yeah, I don't really get that in depth into it, but I know you like that.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about perks. Perks are a great way to modify, enhance, or specialize a piece of equipment. In the game, there are hundreds of perks you find that can improve your stats. You'll acquire or loot new ones each time you kill a target, but you can also purchase them at merchants, find some in chests, or obtain them by constructing your forge at the hideout. Perks can be unlocked after completing a specific accomplishments in game. For example, completing a specific number of air assassinations can unlock a perk to remove an additional health segment while doing an air assassination. In short, perks are a great way to further specialize your favorite playstyle while being rewarded for it. So these can be straightforward improvements, can influence inflictions, which we'll talk about in a minute, different exotic conditions that affect your gameplay. They can boost your base damage, change how your adrenaline reacts. They can do a bunch of stuff that just change. Legendary perks obviously are the most unique ones. They change the way you play by affecting the game mechanic instead of simply boosting a stat, though they can only be found on legendary gear. The perks you collect can be put into use once you construct the forge at your hideout. Engraving complementary perks can create powerful synergies on a given piece of equipment, allowing you to personalize your gear and make it your own. So it sounds like the forge is like number one thing to be built in the hideout.
100%. I also wonder, is there a limit on the number of perks you can get?
So the perk slots on the weapons will affect that. So like if you remember engravings from Odyssey, you only had like a certain number of engraving slots, and that's how many perks you could have on the weapon or equipment.
Oh yeah, that's right. That I don't know. I just like want to be able to collect everything and use everything is my issue, which they're never going to let me do because that would be too OP.
Yes, it would. So there are different afflictions that will affect. You have bleed, poison, daze, and knockout. But I missed something. We need to go back and watch a video on air assassinations showcasing the ability. Okay. See, with the perk, it turned it from a just really damaging assassination to a deadly one.
Okay, I gotcha.
So with knockout, basically you can knock down and knock out opponents, which make them easier to kill. So there's a video that is a Naue combat build, which I think people will be interested to watch.
Okay, her little jumping ability thing was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like there's going to be, with these perks that you can put into different weapons or I don't know if that's the right thing, but just the ways you can modify weapons and armor and your abilities. I am curious to see what people come up with as like the best collection of them, combination of them.
There will probably be a lot.
I'm sure there will be.
All right, I have one last thing to talk about, which is trading. So trading will be a key to the game to push Naue and Yasuke's talents further. Throughout the open world, you can find merchants in cities or itinerant merchants on various roads of Japan. We'll have different types of merchants that sell different things. Some are focused on selling gear, some resources, and some cosmetic elements. You can also sell extra resources, unused gear, and valuables in exchange for mons, which is the currency of the area at the time. Merchants always also sell unique things that you cannot find anywhere else.
So each merchant has a unique item.
Yes.
Okay, great.
That's cool. I just like that of okay, like in Odyssey, there's no reason to really go to a merchant ever.
Right.
You know,
I don't think I ever did.
Yeah, you just need to upgrade your gear. Oh, you could go to the blacksmiths to upgrade your gear.
Yeah, I only went to merchants in Valhalla to get new tattoos and hair.
Right. And so, but with this, I like the adding unique to merchants. So if you want everything, you have to.
Right.
You have to interact with them. But yeah, that's all we've got on progression. At the air of this, we are officially 1 week from Assassin's Creed Shadows, so I'm really looking forward to playing the game. Do you have any closing thoughts?
I mean, it sounds like they've really taken their time innovating this game. I think there are obviously just some things that they're marketing to us as new that are not really new. But overall, I mean, I do think most of this stuff sounds really fascinating, and I can't wait to play the game.
All right. Well, I think we're ready to wrap up.
All right, Austin. Well, thank you as always for doing the research. Greatly appreciate it. And thank you all for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. You can find us on Twitter at AC Lorecast.
If you have any lore questions or topics to unpack, join our Cups Podcasting and More Discord server. It's the best place on the internet. You can also support us financially through our Patreon. Find us on patreon.com/Assassin's Creed Lorecast. The Assassin's Creed Lorecast is part of the Robots Radio Network. For more information about the Robots Radio Network, join the Discord server via the link in our episode's description.
If you enjoyed the show or learned something new today, please subscribe, leave us a review, and join the Patreon. And if you enjoyed our intro and outro music, make sure you give a big thank you to Pipeman Studios. Thank you, Pipeman. Thanks again for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. And always remember, Assassins, stay in the shadows to serve the light.
Want to live better? We got a lot of work to do. Join Chris Hemsworth in National Geographic's new Disney Plus original series, Limitless. Live better now.
I'm diving headfirst into cutting-edge science to uncover 3 powerful secrets to living better right now. The growth that occurs through any challenging experience is really what we seek.
Chris Hemsworth stars in Limitless. Live better now. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
It's showtime.
Have you ever wanted to deep dive into the lore and stories behind all your favorite Marvel movies? Then do we have the show for you? I'm Captain Shenko.
And I'm Psych88. Join us as we dissect the media megalith that is the MCU. We'll talk about the origin stories, the fights, and everything in between.
The MCU Lorecast releases on all major podcasting platforms on Mondays as part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club and can be found on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.